The Bible tells us of a time before our world began. God created angels, beings of immense power and intelligence. One of these angels, Lucifer, harbored a dangerous ambition. He desired to be like God, even to take his place. This angel, who we know as Satan, dared to challenge God's authority. He claimed that humans would be better off without God's guidance, implying they could govern themselves. This challenge was not only presented before God, but also before the angelic host. Satan, in his pride, sought to sway others to his side, to cast doubt on God's wisdom and love. The stage was set for a cosmic conflict, a battle for the hearts and minds of God's creation. Satan's challenge played out in the Garden of Eden. He approached Eve in the form of a serpent, a creature associated with cunning and deception. Satan sowed seeds of doubt about God's goodness, questioning his command not to eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. He implied that God was withholding something good, that humans could become like God themselves by disobeying his command. This temptation struck at the core of humanity's relationship with God: trust. Satan aimed to sever that bond by making God's goodness seem questionable. Imagine a classroom setting. A student, convinced of their intellect, challenges the teacher's methods. They claim a different approach would be more effective, even accusing the teacher of holding them back. A wise teacher, confident in their curriculum, might allow the student to demonstrate their alternative method. Why? Not because the teacher doubts their own approach, but to expose the flaw in the student's thinking. This demonstration allows the entire class to learn from the experience. God, in his infinite wisdom, chose to allow Satan a degree of freedom. This was not an endorsement of Satan's claims, but an opportunity to expose their emptiness. Just as the student's flawed method would become apparent in the classroom, so too would Satan's accusations against God be revealed for what they truly were: baseless and destructive. God, in his omniscience, knew the outcome, but creation needed to witness the unfolding consequences of rebellion and the allure of false promises. This allowance, however, came at a cost. The choice of Adam and Eve to believe Satan's lies brought sin and suffering into the world. Section 5. The price of free will. God could have created humans as automatons, programmed to obey without question. Yet, he desired something more profound, a relationship built on love and free will. True love requires choice. To experience the depth of relationship God intended, humans needed the freedom to choose him, even if that meant the possibility of choosing against him. This freedom, however, came with the responsibility to face the consequences of our choices. Section 6. Learning through consequence. The consequences of Adam and Eve's sin were not meant to be punitive in a vengeful sense, but rather corrective. Just as a loving parent allows a child to experience the natural outcomes of their actions, God allowed humanity to learn from the pain of their choices. This suffering, however, is not the end of the story. God, in his immense love, provided a way back to himself through his Son, Jesus Christ. Through Jesus, we see the true nature of God's character: selfless, compassionate, and forgiving. Section 7. God's purpose remains unchanged. Despite Satan's rebellion and its impact on humanity, God's original purpose for creation remains. He still desires a world filled with love, peace, and harmony. The Bible speaks of a time when God will restore all things, where suffering and death will be no more. This future hope serves as an anchor for believers, a reminder that God is still in control, working out his plan even amidst the chaos of a fallen world. Section 8. The ultimate defeat of evil. God's allowance of Satan's existence is temporary. The Bible is clear that a day of judgment is coming when Satan and his followers will face the consequences of their rebellion. This final judgment serves as a powerful reminder that God is just. He will not allow evil to reign indefinitely. This promise offers comfort to those who have suffered at the hands of evil, knowing that ultimately, righteousness will prevail. Section 9. A future free from Satan's influence. The story of Satan's existence is ultimately one of hope. While we live in a world where evil still operates, we can take comfort in knowing that God is in control. He has provided a way back to himself through Jesus, and he has promised a future free from the influence of Satan and the pain of sin. This future hope empowers us to live courageously in the present, to fight against injustice and evil in all its forms, knowing that we are part of a much larger story, a story that ultimately culminates in victory for God and His creation.